The assessment hall smells like ozone and ambition. 200 hunters stand in ranked rows, black uniforms with guild crests, mana cores already pulsing at their collars, the quiet confidence of people who already know what the scanner will say. Kale Dorn stands at the back of the line and feels nothing unusual. He never has. His name is called at 9:14 in the morning. He steps onto the platform. The assessment scanner, a crystalline arch 6 meters tall, the most precise ranking instrument in Valdra City, hums to life. It reads mana output, skill affinity, class potential, projected combat ceiling. The readout posts to the public screen behind him for every guild recruiter, every certified hunter, every camera in the hall to see. The arch hums. Then it stutters. Then it goes quiet. System assessment, class affinity, null. Mana signature, null. Combat ceiling, unclassifiable. Registry designation, 0. Director Hain, gray-suited and expressionless behind his podium, reads the result once. He does not look up from the screen. Step down, please. You're blocking the queue. Someone in the third row laughs. It isn't loud, it doesn't need to be. Kale steps down. He finds out about Yera on the way to the exit. She doesn't come to him directly. She texts. 4 sentences. Transfer approved, effective today. Aldrin Cross's party offered a Tier 1 contract. She's sorry. She hopes he finds his footing. He reads it twice standing in the corridor, then pockets his phone and keeps walking. At the front desk, a clerk in registry blue holds out a laminated card, his floor access pass, cut diagonally. Certified hunters only above floor 10, she says. You can apply for a civilian exploration permit if you want floors 1 through 9. Forms are on the left. He takes a civilian permit form. He fills it out standing at the counter. He files it the same afternoon. That evening, the broadcast runs a segment on the assessment. Aldrin Cross's results post at the top of the leaderboard refresh, S+ combat sovereign, projected floor ceiling, 98+, 4th consecutive year at the number 1 slot. The segment cuts to footage of Yera standing beside him at the Tier 1 contract signing, her guild crest already replaced. The broadcaster calls Aldrin's party the gold standard of the modern hunter era. The segment closes with a brief note on anomalous assessment results. One registrant posted a confirmed 0 reading, the first in 41 years of Ashfield's Spire operations. Kale turns off the broadcast and goes to sleep early. He has a 6 a.m. civilian permit window on floor 3. He is on floor 3 when the system speaks for the first time. It does not announce itself the way the assessment scanner did. There is no arch, no public screen, no readout. There is only a faint shift at the edge of his peripheral vision, a single line of text, rendered in a dark that seems to sit just behind normal light. Void Step Sovereign, dormant class confirmed active. Condition met, registry confirmed absolute 0. The system has no record of this class. It does not exist in the registry database. It will not be assigned a rank. Null token accumulation begins now. Current null tokens, 1. Kale stops walking. He looks at the text. He looks at the shadow the corridor light throws from his own body, long, dark, perfectly still. He takes 1 step to the left, into the shadow band along the wall. The text updates. Null tokens, 4. He understands immediately. Every movement made within shadow generates tokens. The darker the shadow, the greater the accumulation rate. The assessment scanner read null because the class has no mana signature, it runs on absence. On dark. On the gap the light doesn't reach. He files the civilian permit for floor 4 the next morning. The lower floors are simple. The monsters in floors 1 through 9 are low tier, territorial beasts, slow-moving fauna, the kind of creatures first-year hunters clear in pairs for warm-up credit. Kale clears them alone, moving along wall shadows, ceiling shadows, the long dark pools between dungeon torches. The tokens stack. He is not in a hurry. Null tokens, 97. By floor 6, the other civilians have stopped trying to talk to him. He moves through a floor in 40 minutes at a pace that looks, from the outside, like walking, no skill activation, no mana pulse, no sound. 3 hunters on a warm-up run watch him clear 5 asphalt crawlers in under 2 minutes using nothing they can identify. One of them scans him. The tool returns blank. 0 class, her partner says. She puts it away. Null tokens, 211. He applies for a floor access upgrade through the civilian petition channel. 3 rejected filings later, a registry clerk grants him provisional access to floors 10 through 30, civilian explorer status, no guild sponsorship, the kind of permit they give retired hunters doing nostalgia runs. The clerk stamps it without looking at him. He takes the elevator. Null tokens, 300. Phase site, unlocked. Range, 200 meters. Effect, full positional read of all entities in range, updated in real time. Detection method, shadow displacement resonance. Cooldown, none. This ability does not appear in the skill registry. The first time phase sight activates, Kale is standing in the shadow corridor between floors 12 and 13. There is no visual change. What changes is a different kind of awareness, quiet and complete, every body in 200 meters, updated in real time. He knows where the dungeon beasts are before they move. He knows where the 2 licensed hunters on floor 12 are, what direction they face. He knows the exact shape of every shadow in range. He stands still for a moment. Then he keeps climbing. Floors 10 through 30 fall in 6 days. Floors 31 through 60 take 3 weeks, not because they are difficult, but because his permit caps out at floor 30 and he has to file 3 separate appeals before the registry grants access to floor 61. The board looks at his record, 0 class, no guild, no combat output detected. They grant it because there is technically no rule against it. Null tokens, 600. Veil strike, unlocked. Effect, single contact shadow transfer strike, MC phases into target's shadow at physical contact range, delivers full kinetic force directly to the target's core, bypasses all mana shields, all physical guards, all detection-based evasion. Unblockable. Resets on completion. The ability does not appear in the skill registry. It has no mana cost. It has no ceiling. He tests it on floor 63 against a Shadow Drake, AB plus Predator. 3 licensed hunters on the same floor are struggling to contain. Kale steps into the Drake's shadow. 1 contact. The Drake goes down. The 3 hunters stare. 1 pulls a skill read scanner. No class, no mana, no registered skills. Blank. 0 class, her partner says. She puts it away. Kale takes the elevator to floor 64. Null tokens, 900. Sovereign Veil, unlocked. Effect, MC becomes untraceable to every system, every detection skill, every mana scanner, every physical sense, for 90 seconds. No signature. No shadow displacement read. No thermal, no sound, no mana. Absolute absence. Cooldown, 24 hours. This ability does not exist in any registry record. It has no rank. It has no ceiling. He reads the notification twice in the shadow of a floor 78 pillar. Then he keeps climbing. By floor 90, the word has spread, through incident reports, through party scanner logs that return blanks, through a floor 82 boss kill that 3 separate parties have witnessed and none can explain. 11 filed reports about an unregistered combatant on a civilian permit clearing floors licensed hunters don't clear alone. All 11 come back to the same designation, 0/unclassifiable. No action taken. On the morning Kale applies for floor 91 access, Director Hain reviews the petition personally. He looks at the access history, floors 1 through 90, unbroken, no deaths, no guild, no mana output detected. He approves it because there is no regulation to deny it. He does not revisit the stamp he applied 9 months ago. Kale takes the elevator to floor 91. Floor 95 of the Ashfield Spire is where Aldrin Cross's party is running their assault. It has been live on Hunter broadcast for 6 hours. 4 A-rank hunters and the number 1 ranked S+ combat sovereign, methodical and precise, clearing the floor 95 boss corridor in what the broadcasters are calling a masterclass in elite tier coordination. Yara Voss is running support amplification in slot 3. The camera catches her twice, composed, accurate, exactly the kind of partner a Tier 1 contract demands. The Floor 95 boss is the Void Reaper, a Shadow-type dungeon entity, A+ class, notorious for nullifying mana-based detection in a 40-meter radius around its body. Aldrin's party has been trading approaches for 6 hours because none of their positioning skills will lock on inside the null zone. At 3:47 in the afternoon, the elevator doors on Floor 95 open. Kale steps out. He is wearing the same black training gear he has worn on every floor. He has no guild crest. He has a civilian explorer badge. He walks into the corridor. Aldrin Cross sees him before his party does. Aldrin's spatial sense is the best in the registry, a trained S+ skill that reads mana signatures within 80 meters. He sweeps the newcomer on instinct. Nothing. Absolute blank. The spatial sense returns null. Who is that? Aldrin says. His party scanner fires automatically. 0/unclassifiable. A 0 class, one of the hunters says. Civilian permit. He should not be on this floor. Get him out, Aldrin says. Kale keeps walking. He walks past the outer party line, past 2 hunters who reach out to stop him and find that their hands, somehow, close on nothing. He has not moved quickly, he has simply moved through the shadow between 2 dungeon torches and they lose him in the dark for 2 full seconds. When they find him again, he is standing at the edge of the Void Reaper's null zone. The Void Reaper turns. Shadow-type entity sense by shadow displacement. It reads Kale the same way the assessment scanner did, null returns null. The Reaper cannot locate him. Kale steps into the Reaper's shadow. Null tokens, 941. Veil Strike, available. The contact takes 1 second. The Void Reaper does not move again. The null zone collapses. The corridor lights stabilize. The broadcast cameras, which have been following Aldrin's party for 6 hours, are all pointed at the same place, at Kale Dorn, standing in the center of a Floor 95 boss kill, on a civilian explorer permit, with no registered class. The silence on the broadcast lasts 4 seconds. Aldrin Cross walks forward. His spatial sense is still trying to lock onto Kale and still returning nothing. His combat instinct, the one that has carried him to 4 consecutive years at the number 1 slot, overrides the result and tells him something his sensor skills cannot. This is a threat. What class are you running? Aldrin asks. His voice is level. Professional. The voice of someone who has never had cause to be afraid on a dungeon floor. Kale looks at him. The registry doesn't have a name for it. Aldrin holds his position. He has been in the Spire for 11 years. He has cleared Floor 95 before. He has never had a combatant stand in front of him and return an absolute null red from every skill in his array. I want to see what you can do, he says. It is not a request. The broadcast cameras don't move. Kale considers this for 1 moment. Then he activates Sovereign Veil. Sovereign Veil, active. Duration, 90 seconds. You are not there. Aldrin's spatial sense fires and returns nothing. His mana scanner fires and returns nothing. His combat instinct, the one he trusts above all instrumentation, fires and returns nothing. For the first time in 11 years of floor clearing, Aldrin Cross cannot find his opponent. He holds his stance. He does not panic. He rotates his position, extending every detection skill he has to maximum range, burning mana at a rate that will cost him a full day's recovery. Nothing. The cameras are recording a man in fighting stance facing, as far as any sensor can determine, an empty corridor. 47 seconds in, Kale steps out of a shadow to Aldrin's left. The Veil Strike arrives before Aldrin's spatial sense can register the approach. Full kinetic force, no mana shield to absorb it, no guard to interpose. Aldrin goes to 1 knee. Not from pain, from the sheer physics of it. The strike bypasses every layer of his S+ combat conditioning and lands clean. He has not been touched in 11 years of ranked combat. He is on his knee now. He stays there for 3 seconds. The broadcast feed is silent. 3 seconds of a number 1 ranked hunter on 1 knee, and not one person in the production booth speaks. Aldrin looks up. Kale is standing 2 meters away, unhurried, watching him with the same expression he has carried on every floor from 1 to 95. That's enough, Aldrin says. Quietly. The professional courtesy of a man acknowledging a result he cannot argue. He rises. He does not reach for a follow-up. He looks at Kale the way a senior officer looks at a document he does not have a form for. In the registry monitoring center in Valdra City, a duty officer is staring at a leaderboard that the system has just auto-updated from the broadcast feed. The system has tried to post Kale Dorn's floor 95 boss kill and combat notation and cannot find a rank column to put it in. It has generated a new column, the first new column in the leaderboard's 30-year history. The column header reads, unregistered/above classification. The duty officer calls Director Hain. Hain picks up on the second ring. I know, Hain says. He has already seen it. He is already watching the broadcast. On the screen, Kale Dorn is walking past Aldrin Cross's party toward the elevator. He passes Yara Voss in slot 3. She says his name once, Kale, just the one word, nothing else attached to it. He pauses. He looks at her for one moment. There is nothing cruel in it, nothing dramatic. He just looks, and she understands, from the look, from the leaderboard column she can see on her party display, from the 9 months of silence between the assessment hall and this corridor, exactly how wide the gap has grown. He turns and steps into the elevator. The doors close. The broadcast cameras hold on the leaderboard for the last 8 seconds of the segment. Aldrin Cross, S+ Combat Sovereign, 4 consecutive years, projected ceiling 98+, is in the second slot now. The first slot is a column with no rank, no mana signature, no registered class name. It reads, Kale Dorn, unregistered/above classification, floor cleared, 95. Floor active, 96. In the asphalt spire, floor 96 is dark. Kale steps out of the elevator and walks into it. Null tokens, 2. He is already counting.